Alright, well, you have your USB here, detail stripped, and I have the parts laid out here in order that you need to put them back into the gun. Just got it laid out here left to right, just like reading. And so you want to start off with the it's a trigger bar detent and trigger bar detent spring, and this is when the tweezers come in handy. Just sort of grab a hold of them, and you want to drop this. You'll see a hole in the bottom of the back there. It's on the right side, and just drop it in there. Okay, put that in, and then put in the hammer strut. Just drop it in the gun this way, or drop it on the floor. And now you want to put in the trigger bar, and you just basically put this little notch into the hole on the side of the trigger here. I'll show you guys. Just sort of pull the trigger slightly and put those in there. It'll fit, and then swing this down, and this trigger bar will go on top of the trigger bar detent, and you'll feel that spring here. If you push down on the trigger bar, you'll feel that. And now put in the hammer. Just sit that in there, and then get the hammer axle and try and wiggle this in there. You just basically just push it in to get it started, and it's hitting the trigger bar. So you have to push down on the trigger bar, push this in, and maneuver the hammer so that it will fit in the hammer as well. And this can be a little difficult. It's one of those three-handed things, meaning you need three hands to do it. There we go. Okay. And just make sure that's all the way in. And turn it around and drop in the detent spring. Drop that back in down the side of the ejector here, where we got it from, and put the safety in, and you put it with the safety going down, and it's hitting that. So now push the punch down there again, push down on that so it'll clear, and now that's in all the way. Alright, now we can start back on the hammer parts here. I like to put in the sear first, and just you drop that in, drop it in just like this, and make sure it's fitting between the flat spring and the hammer whenever you put it in. That goes in on the far left, and I like to put in the disconnector next. That goes in on the far right, and it goes in just like that. Okay, and now in between the sear and the disconnector here is where the sear actuator latch and the catch go. The sear actuator latch, the part that's bent here, this goes forward inside of the gun, and the catch here, it goes just like that. I don't know if you can see. It goes on here, and it fits in where both these holes at the top here line up. And you can just grab that with your tweezers here and just drop that. Oh, my disconnector just fell out. Okay. Okay, and drop this in between the disconnector and the sear, while making sure it's in between the hammer and the flat spring. And when that's all the way down in, now you take your punch, you push it in from the left side here, and you try and push it through the holes and all of your hammer controls. So you can line these up while you push in the sear axle from the other side. Okay. push in from the right. Now you take your sear axle and you push this in here. Basically, so now you're pushing out your punch and sort of using your punch here to line up the holes for your sear axle as it gets pushed through. You just sort of feel it, and now that's all the way through. Okay, and make sure it's pushed flat to this side here because the detent plate needs to drop in right there. And now you move your safety into this direction, and then you can feel it going down. So you basically have to push the detent down and then push on the sear axle. So the sear axle will push through the left side where it was flush and hold down the detent plate. And that's how that works. Okay, well now with the mainspring, we'll push this down the hammer strut there, where the hammer strut is holding the spring. Now we take the lanyard loop, push this through the back here, and just make sure that the main spring is in the middle of that. Push that down, push in the lanyard loop, the chaining pin. And that's that. We'll do a safety check. Trigger back, safety on. Doesn't drop. It disconnects. Safety on. Don't go boom from double action. Safety off. Double action works. Cock it. Single action works. So that's your HK USP reassembled from a detail strip.